You guys want to talk about this?
I didn't play in the game, though. I know someone who did. It was a wild game. I thought for sure it was a wrap. I thought we were going to be sitting at home watching the rest of the playoffs and the Super Bowl. And once he dropped that ball, I knew we were going to win. But simultaneously, I thought to myself, this dude will never recover. And I remember watching his career, hoping that one year he just has a season that makes people forget about that. And he did. He had that MVP-like season. But it was definitely a moment, my most conflicted moment as a football player. Because I wanted to win the game, of course, but just the human in me felt so bad for Tony.
Let me pull back the curtain now. You're one of the faces on the CBS Sunday morning show for NFL football. Tony Romo's the #1 voice. When you guys crossed paths, is there a feeling of, hey, we were both there, just different ships in the night? What's the feeling?
No doubt. And like Tony said, it was one of his worst moments, but it shaped him. So I think he was able to deal with criticism on a completely different level. Wow. And think about how good he is post-career. And if you criticize Tony Romo about something he says on the broadcast, he's probably thinking to himself, bro, I've heard worse. I had a bad moment when I played football. So it's moments like that, not the big moments that people praise us for, but the moments when we fail that help us become who we are.
There are so many of those moments in the 100 years of the NFL. It's the countdown to #1 of the NFL 100 greatest games, and it continues on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern and right here on NFL Network. So there's been a lot of questions surrounding the Bears and their linebacker, Roquan Smith, whether or not we'll see him on the field this Sunday in London against the Raiders. Let's start with our very own Stacey Dales on this topic.
Week 4 marked the first career game that Bears linebacker Roquan Smith has missed. It was a shocker to all of us. Head coach Matt Nagy has maintained all week, including today, that it's a private and personal matter, and it will be day-to-day moving forward. But very happy to announce that his linebacker would be back in full capacity at practice starting on Wednesday. Now, Smith himself, he was a little bit more committal in terms of his status heading to London. We asked him about his emotions and his expectations to play.
Thank you, but no, I'm good. It was personal. It's behind me, so more so just looking forward to getting better today out at practice and going back to work with my guys.
Do you want to play this week in London against the Oakland Raiders?
We'll play this week.
And again, important to note for clarity, when asked if this was a family matter or a legal matter, Roquan Smith maintained it's been a personal issue. He said, as you can see, I am fine now. I have put this behind me and very excited for his first trip ever to London with his Bears teammates. The team will be traveling on Thursday night of this week with an arrival in the UK on Friday.
Appreciate you, Stacey. Sort of a weird story. It was a full participant in practice on Wednesday. I got to ask you, Kyle, I know you've been close to this story. You brought it up and put it on my radar that it was weird that he wasn't out there in week 4. What do you make of this and what he said?
My takeaway from this is that Matt Nagy talks all the time about culture and locker room and everything. It's an incredible thing that we never found out what happened. No one leaked it. No one talked about it. Chicago, one of the biggest media centers in the world, everyone is trying to find out what the hell happened. No one on the team said a peep, no one in the front office, no one in the PR department. It's actually an incredible testament, and this is during a week when they lost their starting quarterback.
They have helicopters flying over Soldier Field, and the guys are kicking, and nothing's
and they don't know what happened to Roquan. Peter, I was asking you if you heard anything.
Culturally, it says a lot to me. If anything, there's a good thing to take away from the Bears here. There are 52 players in that locker room. They all have agents. They all gossip. They all text with Rappaport and Schefter and me and whoever else. No one has the story, and it's not out of this great respect for Roquan Smith.
Okay, get it.
The Bears will not talk. No one in the front office, no one in the coach. And that tells me they are a group. They are galvanized together. We're going to protect our guy. Whether good or bad, no one's going to know this story. I'm impressed with the way that they kept that quiet under wraps.
It's refreshing, right, in the day and age that we live in where every single bit of news finds its way out. Twitter, Instagram, friends, family, agents. But yet, they buy in. A lot of teams preach brotherhood. How many teams are falling apart over the last few weeks? How many guys are raising their hands saying, you know, I want to be traded? How many individuals, if we watch the film, aren't giving full effort? How many guys are quick to get a camera in front of their face and say, let me tell you all about the drama that we're dealing with? Chicago Bears is like, nah, fam. Family member went through something. We're going to keep that in-house until we feel like it needs to be said and talked about. That's awesome.
All we do know is they have a game against the Raiders in London. They have a bye week in week 6, and then they are home to host the Saints on October 20th. And who knows when we'll have Mitchell Trubisky back, but keep it here on NFL Network and NFL.com for all the updates.